Welcome to ITJ Live, your weekly live stream dedicated to connecting job seekers, employers, and recruitment agencies in the tourism, travel, and hospitality sectors. Whether you're a job seeker on the hunt for your dream job, an employer looking to hire top talent, or a recruitment agency searching for the right candidate, you're in the right place. Each week, we bring you breaking news, reviews, interviews, hot job opportunities, and the tools you need to succeed in your career. So sit back, hit that follow and subscribe button, and let's dive into this episode of ITJ Live. Good morning, depending on where you are. It could be good afternoon. I'm your host, Charles Lewis. I'm the host for the first episode. I'm looking for someone to host subsequent episodes, so I might not be on next week, but until we find a replacement, I will continue to host this amazing show. Now, in the studio with me today is a gentleman by the name of Mr. Theophilus Bethel, who is from Taz Recruitment and Manning Agency in St. George's, Grenada. I'm going to bring him into the studio while I tackle a few questions that were posed to me over the past 2 weeks since we launched the Instant Tourism Job Platform. Good morning, Theophilus. How are you doing?
Good morning, Charles. I'm great, thank you. And yourself?
Good. Thank you very much. I want to thank you for taking the time to join me today on this epic episode. It's the very first episode in what will be a weekly series of live streams to talk about the recruitment industry. We'll talk about the ITJ platform, and we will invite job seekers to come and share their job seeker profile, talk about what they would like to do in the tourism, hospitality, or tourism sectors, and a bit about their experiences. So you fit right into the situation here. So thank you very much. Now I'm going to tackle a few questions that were posed to me over the last few weeks when we were launching the ITJ platform, because you can certainly, I'm sure you would have a few questions yourself, or you may want to add to something that I'll say in response to the questions. Okay. Now, when we first launched, people were confused about who we are and what role we play in the industry. And I had to keep repeating myself that we are not an employer. We're not a recruitment agency. That is Theophilus' position in the industry. We are similar to Facebook. We are a listing platform for the employment agencies, for the employers, and also for the job seekers to come and post their details on our platform and connect with each other directly. So to answer the question, are you an employer? Are you a recruitment agency? No, we're not. We are a recruitment listing platform similar to Facebook. Now, another question, and feel free to jump in, Theophilus, if you have any questions about the platform before we talk about your agency. Okay. One question that kept coming up was, is ITJ a free platform? Yes, it is. And someone was very cheeky in saying, well, it's free now, but maybe you're going to have to pay later. Well, no, you will never have to pay for the platform. It will always be free to job seekers to sign up and publish their job seeker profile. It will always be free to recruitment agencies and employers to post their job listings. The reason why it is free is because, one, I think in some countries it's almost illegal to charge job seekers to give them opportunity. And not only that, but the most pressing point that is going to cause it to be free ongoing is the fact that there's so many free spaces on social media that you can post your job seeker profile or your job listings, like Instagram, Facebook, and so on. So it makes no sense for us to be charging on any front. Another question that came up quite often, well, if you're free, how are you going to make money? Good question. Well, we're going to be offering advertising space, and there will also be sponsorship opportunities. Also, once we've created a very large, extensive database, there are many other ideas that we'll bring into the equation that we can leverage to generate revenue. So there will never be a charge for listings or subscriptions. There would just be advertising, sponsorship, and perhaps we'll partner with companies offering training programs. Maybe we can do a revenue share on promoting those training programs, etc. another question that I kept getting was, when was it launched? Obviously, it was launched on the 15th of May. So it's early days for us. I had thought about this a few years ago, but never had the time. And when I had the time, I did not have the resources, but it all came together a few weeks ago, and here we are today. I did not think of doing a live stream when I first launched the platform. I have to admit, I was thinking purely of the platform, but it dawned on me that there's so many platforms. There are literally thousands of platforms out there. So why come with something that is just the same old, same old? So we decided we needed to be innovative. We needed to be fresh. We needed to have something that's more engaging. And that's where the idea of doing the live stream came about. And I'm now convinced that the live stream is going to be the single most important, most effective strategy for the platform because it's more engaging and it's very cutting edge. Any thoughts on the platform, Theophilus, or the ITV live stream?
No, I basically has a question for you, Charles.
Yes.
And that is basically, can you share any trends that you notice in the hospitality and the tourism job market that applicants should be aware of when considering overseas work?
Well, that is really putting me on the spot because I'm not really the professional in the recruitment industry. That's a question I should be asking you, okay? Because my background is really IT development and investment and so on. But in terms of trends, wow. I know it's becoming extremely competitive, so they need to be very prepared. I think that people need not rely on education alone. I think experience and aptitude and attitude, those are things that are very critical as well, because I find that people tend to say, well, if I don't have that education, so I can't apply. I think that is something that they should not allow themselves to fall into, that pitfall. I think that ambition is very critical. In terms of trends, I had a meeting with some politicians in my country recently because there was a by-election in my constituency, and I was a bit. I did not hesitate to tell them that I'm very concerned that we have too much seasonal tourism in the Caribbean. I don't know why we're not looking at new markets which would create more traffic, and more traffic would create more job opportunities for job seekers and more opportunity for recruitment agencies. Because I don't understand why small islands like Grenada, where you're from, and Barbados, why we should be, there should be a low season. I've been to countries all over the world where the tourists all year round, and they don't have the beaches are not as beautiful as Grenada or Barbados. So that is a trend that I'm not happy with. The trend of just doing the same thing over and over again in terms of tourism marketing and trying to get a different result. So that is one trend or lack of trend that I'm concerned about. Is there anything you can add to that, Theophilus?
No, not really. And I totally endorse what you said.
Mm-hmm.
So within the government, and they should look into that and see where we can open up the market more.
Of course. I mean, I don't see many Japanese tourists coming to Barbados. I don't see many I see a lot of Chinese construction workers coming into the Caribbean, but not tourists. And they have millions of dollars to spend. So I think we need to start looking at new markets to create more tourism traffic, create more jobs, and satisfy more job seekers. So they're all connected. Let's go to another question, because I have a few things for you. And also, we have some other guests in the studio waiting to join us. People who have been through your recruitment agency, and I'm sure they have questions for the for me or for yourself. Okay, let's go to one. Let's go to a couple more questions here. One question is, how do you become a guest on ITV Live? Well, simply fill out the guest form, which is on the page for the ITV Live, and we will then contact you and send you a link to come into the studio. Now, what happens as a guest? Job seekers are invited to talk about their job seeker profiles. They're there to ask any questions about the platform. They're there to talk about, of course, their education, their experience, their aspirations, their the job search journey they can talk about. We're also going to invite employers and recruitment agencies to come on the show to talk about their job listings and to talk about their individual businesses and what role or roles they play in the recruitment industry. Okay, just a few more questions that I am going to tackle and go. Okay, where can we see the live stream? We are using a platform called StreamYard, and StreamYard is very advanced. It's very user friendly, and it's idiot proof because I can use it. And they can go live on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and a number of other platforms simultaneously. So it's quite advanced technology, and that's where one can see it. Right now, this is being streamed live on YouTube as well as on the homepage of ITV. Now, let us, without any further ado, let's bring you into the hot seat, Theophilus, before we bring some of the job seekers waiting in the wings. By the way, if anyone has any questions or comments or would like to come into the studio at any particular point, just send me a message in the comment section. It's on the right of the screen. You can send me a message and I can bring you in rather easily. Okay, let's talk about TAS Recruitment and Manning Agency. When was it launched?
So, Charles, TAS was launched in 2024, early of 2024.
Yes.
And it's one of the agencies in Grenada, and I should proudly say it's also MLC certified by Bureau Vista. And this is, I don't know if you'd see, but this is what the certifications look like.
Okay.
Now, with this certificate, this gives me the right to crew regional and international. I'm not only restricted in Grenada. So I did recruitment with persons in Barbados, Guyana, Dominica, Grenada, this far.
Okay.
As well as I just signed a MOU with CTI USA groups in the US, and now we're doing the J1 internship, work and travel, and employees, the visa exchange program.
If I may interject, let's go back to that certification. What's the process in getting that certification? And then talk about the J1, because many people listening might not know what J1 is. I, for one, do not know what J1 is. So let's talk about the certification and the process of getting that certification.
Okay, so to start with a certification, any recruiting agency that does recruitment for cruise ships in the cruise ship industry, and basically to let the guest knows that my main focus is recruiting for cruise ships. So it has a maritime labor convention that clearly states that you should not charge or have a fee for placement to the cruise ship industry. That is illegal. And once you are MLC certified, you must follow the protocols and the procedures of the convention.
Yes.
If I divert away from that and I'm being caught, then my certificate and my license can be revoked. It's that simple.
Now, it's interesting you said that, because while I was trying to do some social media advertising for the platform, I was rejected a number of times because they were thinking that I was promoting job offers, and there was some miscommunication. So they thought it was misleading advertising because we really were not doing that. And so anyway, I was able to change the format of the advertising, and then I was there. So legislation is certainly very strict on the recruitment process, and I can understand why, because many people in the past, got away with charging X amount of dollars to a job seeker when they couldn't really give them a job. So I imagine there were many scams, discovered or unearthed during that time. So hence the strict, regulations. Tell me about the J1.
The J1 program, it's a US-based program, United States-based program, whereby it's a visa exchange program for persons or professionals, I should say, in university or college that is willing to
Yes.
take up any of the department roles in the hospitality field. So
Yes.
we have from the interns, then we have work and study, and then we have the summer jobs as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can have a contract. You can have a contract with a J1 program for 12 months to 18 months, the most.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that there are other, well, I don't know if you mentioned that, but in my research, there were a number of recruitment agencies in Grenada. So, what makes Taz stand out against other agencies?
As I mentioned, TAS is a MLC certified agency. So with the MLC, you must look out for the crew members or the seafarers, I should say, and
Yes.
the
Uh-huh.
employees. So we plays a major role, not only as an agency, but an MLC certified agency.
Okay. What programs do you have in place to prepare job seekers for a role locally or internationally?
So basically, one of my entities that I have, which is Better and Associates Marine Services and Training Institute as well. And if let me say, Charles, I am proud to mention it on your platform that we just launched the STCW training in Grenada last Friday for the very
Mhm.
first time. That
Okay.
seafarers does not have to go anymore to Trinidad, Barbados, St. Vincent to conduct such courses. It's being placed right now at home and
Okay.
for the very first time. And as you mentioned earlier in the program as well, we at TAS we do not do only training,
Hmm.
but we does empowerment to persons for job placement as well.
Okay.
So
Okay. Very good.
we will provide employment and as well training and employment opportunities for you.
Okay. At this point, I want to bring one of the job seekers in the waiting wing to join the conversation for a few minutes and maybe pose some questions to you or to myself. And
Sure.
I believe some of them have been through the TAS recruitment and management agency process, and I want to get their feedback on it. So let's bring Vanessa in. Vanessa has been waiting patiently. I can see her smiling in the background, but she can't see me. And here we go. Let's bring her
Same.
on in the frame here. There you go. Vanessa, thank you very much for joining us. I know you were, I shouldn't say patiently, I should say impatiently waiting to come into the frame here. So thank you for joining us. And I understand that you have been through the TAS recruitment agency. Tell us a bit about that experience.
Well, for me, Mr. Tio, he's very professional. He know what he's doing. The well, I signed up
Yes.
job seeking for cruise ship, and
Okay.
it didn't take long. It didn't take me long, I should say. We sent
Okay.
a application out, and the next day or two, I got my interview online. It was really
Mhm.
good. I even got my crew ID number, and I'm just waiting for my medical to approve, and I'm done, and that's it.
And
Very
off you
easy,
go. And off you go.
and off I go.
Okay. Have you bought your your motion sickness pills?
Well, I'm used to it, so no, I don't need that.
Okay. All right, very good.
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you think of this show? This is the very first episode. What do you think of this show? And what impact you think it will make to job seekers and employers and recruitment agencies?
Well, I believe that people are looking for jobs, and they can see that it's alive, so they know that for a fact that some people have been through the progress, so it's
Yeah.
not false news. So it's a really good thing.
Okay. Theo, is there anything you want to ask Vanessa while she's in the studio with us? Or any
Yes.
comments you want to make about Vanessa?
Should I put Vanessa on the spot?
Yes, do that.
No.
Put her on the spot.
At first, Vanessa, after you we met for the very first time, did you at
Mhm.
any point in time thought it was how should I put it, a fraudulent activity?
Oh no, no, no. I haven't thought that.
No, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's a
because
good question.
actually when I came in, it had other people signing up and he had documents and everything on the table. So I didn't really think it was nothing.
Mhm. But that's
Was
a
Taz
very good
recruiting
question.
was
Let,
Taz
let me,
recruiting transparent with you through the process?
Sorry?
Was Taz recruiting the staff? Was there transparent with you through the process? Are you in
Yeah.
communication, a day-to-day communication?
Oh, you guys were on point. Top notch. No, any little questions you ask, don't matter what question it is, you get the answer. It's very professional, as I said.
Thank you.
Mhm.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
before you go, Vanessa, I want to ask you a bit about your job seeker profile. Tell me something about you. What have you done before in tourism or hospitality? And tell me something about that experience.
Alright, well as I was growing up, I don't know, I just love hospitality. I love serving people, meeting new people. So I decided to go on ship. I worked with Disney for 2 years. It was an
Yes.
amazing experience. It was really nice meeting new people from all over the world, different nationalities. It's fun for
Yes.
me, and then you could travel and all these
Yeah.
things.
Very good. Very good. Okay, Vanessa, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to come and join us. I'm going to bring another job seeker, or in the or maybe they're no longer a job seeker because you found employment. But I'm going to bring Floyd Frederick into the studio. So,
Okay,
Vanessa, thank you very much for joining us. I do appreciate your
you're welcome.
contribution and helping us to create valuable content. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Have yourself a
You're welcome.
wonderful day.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay. We're gonna bring Floyd Frederick. This sounds like a movie star. This name, Floyd Frederick. Okay. Actually, I think I've not brought Floyd Frederick. Let me just. There you go. Floyd, how are you doing today?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Beto.
Good morning,
Thanks for
Floyd.
inviting me onto your program. I do appreciate it.
Uh,
And hello to the
Fantastic.
listeners as well.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, tell us about your relationship with Taz Recruitment Agency.
Well, I was introduced to Mr. Beto through Mr. Courtney. I think that was last Wednesday. I went to see him last Wednesday. And the
Yeah,
experience was good. It was very, very good. He was very detailed. He know his job. At first, I was kind of scared in a kind of way, just to meet him, just to being introduced for the first time. But then we
yeah,
sat down, we talked, and he explained certain things to me, which I understood. And then thanks that he is doing the STCW in Grenada right now, because
yeah,
I have my certificates, but I need to do a refresher. So instead of
yeah,
me, because I did my STCW in Miami at MPT Training School. So
yeah,
thankfully now I don't have to go to Trinidad or wherever it is, Barbados. They're doing it right
mm,
here in Grenada. So I just have to do my refresher course down here. And the process was good. Actually, I just came from seeing him earlier on this morning, and it was very,
okay,
very good. He outlined everything. Everything was detailed. He know his job. The recruitment agency, they're good at what they do.
fantastic. Tell me something about your experience in the tourism or hospitality sector over the years.
Well, over the years I worked with different cruise ships from spanning from like 1997 up to 2014 with different cruise ships. I work with Disney, I work with Royal Caribbean, I work with MSC and Princess Cruise Line.
All
And
right.
the experience again, it was very, very good. I mean, you learn different things.
Yeah.
They teach you their standard, and you have to maintain that standard to please the guests. Remember,
Mhm.
you're out there for a reason. You're out
Yes.
there to serve the guests, right?
Yes.
So that they can have a good experience. So when they go back to their hometown or their home country, they can tell their friends, look, I had a good experience in this company. I had a good experience in that company. This server, this worker, he was good or she was good. So
Yes.
I gain a lot of knowledge from that. So hence the reason why I want to make another try again at it.
Okay. Theophilus, perhaps you have a question or a comment to make at this point.
Yes, Floyd, why do you think that TAS would assist you? It has many other agencies in Grenada. Why didn't you not choose one of them? Why did you come to TAS?
Okay, because I was recommended to you by Mr. Courtney. Mr. Courtney and I know him from a long time ago, and he said to me, "Well, look, this Mr. Bettel, he is new. He is good at what he do. So and then I feel very comfortable because I know Mr. Courtney and I feel very comfortable with him. So then when
Yeah.
I met you, I was very comfortable. You outlined the specifications of everything that I need to be done, that I have to get for you in order to apply for the position, which I did. And you are a professional. And then you have the qualification, as I said, to do the SCCW in Grenada as well.
Do
What
you
are
have
some of your
any
thoughts? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Theo.
do you have any doubts in mind that you would not get placement?
No. I'm a very good spirit-hearted person. I believe in God, so I'm happy. I know I will get you.
Okay.
Not know if, maybe, or but about it. I will get you because you have, as I said before, you have. I look at you, how you operate, and how you speak, and I know.
Okay, we just lost sound there for a minute.
Yes, we did.
What are some of your thoughts on tourism in Grenada, Floyd?
Say that again. Repeat.
What are your thoughts on tourism in Grenada? Some of your thoughts.
It's very good. It's very good. We still have a lot to do, but they're getting there. I mean, things don't happen overnight, but we are trying. We are trying our best to do things and implement stuff and put things in place so that when the cruise ships come in and they bring the guests inside, they will have a memorable experience
Yes,
in
yes.
Grenada to share with the wider world when they go back. And
Okay, we've lost the sound a bit there.
so,
Yeah, go ahead. No, I can hear you now.
yes,
Yes, we lost the sound. Yeah, for a
right.
bit.
So
Yes.
we are here to please the cruise ship passengers with our nice spices
Yeah.
and stuff. I mean, we have a lot of things in Grenada. We have the waterfalls, we have the spices. From the minute time the ships coming in, they can smell the spices because I used to work with Ocean Princess. They used to come in Grenada, and that's the first thing that the guests tell me. Oh, they can smell the spices when the ship is coming in. But I mean, tourism in Grenada is good, but we have some way to go still. Things don't
Yes.
happen
Okay.
overnight, but we are getting there.
Okay, I have a question for you. In Barbados, 60% of the people work in tourism. What is the ratio in Grenada? How many people work in the tourism sector? Approximately, what percentage?
I I would say maybe about 60, 65. Somewhere around. I might be wrong, but I know a lot of people work in tourism in the industry here in Grenada.
Okay. Any comments, Theophilus, about the market?
Yeah, the market. I would say about 60%.
About
Yeah.
60% as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Well, you said in the beginning, Floyd, that you were a little nervous meeting Theophilus, but you've come on to this show and you've taken over the entire show, and I love it. You know, you're making my
No,
job
I
very
think Mr.
easy.
Mr. Betel energy rubbing off on me.
So I find it hard to believe you were nervous meeting Theophilus, and here you are on live stream, and the whole world can see you and hear you. You're a pro. Anyway,
Thank you.
I want to thank you very much for taking the time to come on and share your views, your thoughts, and your experience with TAS Recruitment and Manning Agency.
You're welcome.
At any time in the future, if you ever want to come back on because you have questions or comments, at any time, I want job seekers to feel free to jump in and jump off at any time with any comments or questions. Okay, and for those who just joined us, you're tuned into ITJ Live, which is Instant Tourism Jobs Live. I'm your host, Charles Lewis, and with me in the studio is Theophilus Bethel, who is from TAS Recruitment and Manning Agency. And with us now and leaving shortly is Floyd Frederick, who is, well, you're not a job seeker anymore because you got placement. So,
Yes.
former job seeker, now employed in the cruise ship industry, and is a graduate, I should say, of the TAS Recruitment Agency. Floyd, thank you very much for joining us, and
You're
feel free
welcome.
to.
Thanks for having me.
You're more than
Thank you,
welcome.
Mr. Frederick.
All right, thanks, Mr. Patel.
You're welcome.
All right,
Okay. Okay. Well, that was interesting.
Yes, it is.
We have another person in the studio, but we're going to say a few things amongst ourselves first, and then we have how can I? Okay. I hope I pronounce this. I hate pronouncing names incorrectly, so let's give this a try. Raylon, Pierre. Okay. Well, I better, since I'm struggling, I better bring him in and let him defend himself right now. Just 1 second. Okay. Let's get the pronunciation of your name.
Yeah, see, having a quite of a hard task pronouncing my name.
Yes, please.
So it's Raylon.
Tell us. I'm sorry?
It's Raylon.
Raylon. Okay. Raylon. Okay, fantastic. Okay, good. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Are you also connected to TAS Recruitment Agency? Where are you from, by the way?
So I'm from Grenada.
Okay, you're from Grenada and you're okay. Good. Well, since you're also connected, tell us your experience with TAS. And try not to look at Theophilus when you're talking to me. I don't want him to influence your answers, okay?
I would never do such a thing.
So far,
Okay, tell us about your relationship with TAS and in particular Theophilus.
okay. So far, I would like to say thank you to Mr. T. This man is a wonderful man. He takes all his recruiters, well, employees like myself. Yeah, he has
Yes.
come a long way with us. Right? I also recommend persons that are joining cruise line. Definitely
Yes.
you. Yeah, number one, I'll give him a 5.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Good going. Good
Charles,
going.
Charles might think that I paid you to say that, eh?
I was just going to remind him not to forget to make the check payable to us.
So he's good.
Okay. So tell us about you now. What about your experience in the tourism or hospitality? What jobs have you had, and which companies you work with, and tell us a bit about you.
Well, okay. First off, well, I started off working like in the Royal, which is the hotel in Grenada.
Yeah.
I started off doing excursions in terms of like getting customers, yes, in the restaurant, in the hotel, sorry, to participate in excursions.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, go ahead.
For approximately 2 years.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So, and in current position now, I'm a host at a new restaurant which is called Chez Louis that was recently opened on Silver Sands.
We're having a bit of difficulty with your audio. Sometimes, depending on the connection strength, that would affect the audio. But we've got you back now. What are you currently doing in the industry?
Yes, so I'm a host at the Chez Louis restaurant, which is called Movel's. You can also look online, right? It's what should I say? It's a fine dining restaurant.
Yes. Okay. Fantastic. Well, did you have any formal training from any hospitality institute in Grenada?
Well, yes, I did have some sort of training when I started my job that I'm currently at. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Theophilus, tell us a bit about the hospitality training institutions in Grenada. Let us interject here for a moment. What can you tell us about the various training programs or institutes?
So we do have training institutes here in Grenada that deals with hospitality. One of the main institutions is TAMCC, TA Marshall Community College. So TAMCC is just the abbreviation for TA
Yeah.
Marshall Community College. We also have NULO. We have
Mhm.
the Grenada National Training Agency as well. And
Yeah.
also have the Courtney's that does the hospitality training for persons. So
Yeah.
they can also join, well, with from TAMCC, they does placement as well for Sanders. They have a contract with Sanders. So from
Okay.
graduation, you go to do the work studies. As well in the
Yes, I see.
past, and I think that that program is still happening, students from NULO and TAMCC has the job
Mhm.
opportunity and training on board cruise ships for the day once they arrive in Grenada.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Is there one by the name of WISH, WISH abbreviation
No,
in
not to my
Grenada?
knowledge. Maybe I could be
Oh,
wrong, but I never heard about it.
I saw that during my research, and
Yeah.
okay, yeah, okay, fantastic. Do you? Many people do not get the opportunity to go through these institutions, but yet they still do extremely well in the hospitality sector. There's a lot to be said about these institutions, and I think that it's the governments have done a phenomenal job of facilitating the opening of these institutions. We have a number of them in Barbados as well, and in my research, I found a number of them across the Caribbean. My aim is to reach out to them to invite them to come onto the show to talk about their training programs at some point in time, and have them add
Wonderful.
to our content. So,
Yeah.
Raylon,
Yes.
any more you can tell us about your ambitions going forward? What would you like to do going forward before we bring your part of the discussion to a close?
Well,
What would you like to do going forward?
basically, you mean in terms of like my role on the cruise ship or just in general?
Well, cruise ship. Maybe you want to become the minister of tourism in the future. I don't know. You tell me.
Well,
what are your ambitions within the tourism sector?
okay. Well, my ambition is to reach at the highest level that there can be, so that I can other persons coming up or other people coming up more about the tourism and the rules that things in the tourism.
Yes,
Uh,
fantastic. Okay, brilliant. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's interesting that you know it's interesting that you so quickly decide to come on the show, because I was concerned that job seekers were going to be a bit timid and not have the courage to come on the show when it's such an easy conversation. It's like having a drink in a rum shop and talking about your experience at work, you know.
It is.
But people tend to be shy with a camera in front of them, you know. So you're encouraging other people to do the same thing. So I want to thank you very much. So you have yourself a wonderful day, and I wish you every success in your career in tourism and hospitality. And do come back again and talk to us and tell us how you're getting on. It'll be lovely to have you on the show again sometime in the future. Okay. Thank you very much. Take care and bye for now.
Right? You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm really pleased with the response that we've had so far. We've had over close to 1,000 people responded to my social media ads asking for more information. But
Excellent.
surprisingly, only about 180 people signed up so far on the platform, which I have to analyze that, because I would have expected at least half them to sign up because they were so keen to get information. I suppose it's just a matter of time. We do have one more person in the studio who has not yet come into the discussion. Her name is Lemoy Henderson. Is that name familiar to you, Theophilus?
Yes, it is. That is one of my applicants out of Jamaica, if I can recall clearly.
Fantastic. Well, let's bring her into the studio and have a discussion. Okay, Lemoy, your name is easier to pronounce. Okay, a lot easier. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful, and you?
Okay. There was a little bit of an issue with your audio there, but anyway, thank you very much for joining us. So, like the others, tell us a bit about your relationship with Taz Recruitment Agency. What was that like?
Are you hearing me?
Not so clear. Not so clear.
No, we're having some connection issues here with you. Okay. I think you're okay. Here you go. You were frozen on the screen just now, so there's a connection issue. Well, let's start again. Tell us about your relationship with Mr. Bethel and Taz Recruitment and Manning Agency.
Okay, so I met Taz. I've not met him actually face to face. Are you hearing me properly now?
Okay, we're still having some problems. I think your connection is not very strong. That is why you're having a problem. I'm wondering if you stop the video and just do audio. Maybe that would make a difference. Could you stop your audio and just stop your video and do audio only and see if that makes a difference. Okay, let's try it again. Testing 1, 2, 3. Earth to Lemoy, come on in.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Are you hear me?
Oh,
a little
no.
better.
Okay. Well, let's.
Is it better if I log in on Facebook?
No, I'm not hearing you at all. Lemoy, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to try this again because the connection. We're gonna have to try this when you have a much stronger connection because I can't hear you, and certainly the viewers will not be able to hear you as well. So we're gonna have to try this again. I'm sorry about that, but when you have a much better connection, yeah, that is purely connection issue there. We're gonna have. Yeah. Let us try to get her back in on another show. Now, let's talk about the frequency of the shows. We were initially planning to do a show once a week, but I am convinced we're going to need to do more than that. There's so many job seekers who would love the opportunity to come and talk about their job seeker profile, and so many recruitment agencies as well who would like to come on. Now, I have a number of other questions I wanted to pose to you, Theophilus. Let's get back to your agency here. Okay, can you share any success stories with us of recent?
Success stories, yes, I can. And as I mentioned, first of all, let me just give a little about my background. I have over 24 years in the maritime industry. I started on board cruise ships as well as a cadet officer, and I worked my way up as a master, captain of the vessel.
Okay.
Then in 2023, I moved to Papua New Guinea as the training and development manager there as an expat. Yeah. Then the DPA, designated person ashore, and the company security officer, whereby I furthered my studies in marine science and I did the classification and statutory survey, which I achieved my master's in from Lloyd's Registry. With that being said, at that point, as I mentioned, the STCW training was only done in Trinidad, Barbados, Honduras, and so forth. And I think it was wise to start that establishment as well in Grenada, see where it would take me. So I did apply to the Grenada Maritime Administration, which I sent in my qualifications, experience. And in 2022, it works from 2022 to 2023, I was granted the approval to start the first and only STCW Training Institute here in Grenada, and which we launched it last Friday, the 16th. So that's a big success for me. It's a huge historic achievement, I should say, for Grenada.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, we've only met. Well, is it a full week? I don't know. A week ago.
Yeah. When I saw the ad.
I have to admit that you have been a very inspirational part of the business development. Since meeting you and having a few
Thank you.
conversations, it has really inspired me to go forward. I was a bit worried that recruitment agencies might be a bit slow in coming forward, but it's and also I'm going to lean on you going forward for any advice or input to help me further develop this, because recruitment and the recruitment industry, they're all very new to me. I'm not I haven't had a job since I was 22 years old. So I'm not an expert at recruitment. I started my own business at 23 in Los Angeles, and I never looked back. So I'm not a good candidate for TAD's recruitment and managing agency.
No, but you're a good collaboration partner for us.
Yeah. So I have to admit that recruitment is an area that I have to become more familiar with going forward in developing this. Well, we do have Lemoy. She's back in the studio, and she's saying that she's hearing me better now. Let's give her one more try to come in and say a few words about herself and about her relationship, and hopefully the connection is better. If it doesn't work now, we will certainly have her in on another episode to talk about herself and her recruitment, her job seeker profile. So let's bring her back into the studio.
Hi.
Okay, let's try this one more time, Lemoy, and see if it's any better. I would hate to have you. Well, so far so good. So far so good. Okay, tell us about your relationship with Theophilus and TAD's Recruitment and Manning Agency.
Well, actually, I only know Mr. Beckel because I live far away. I live in Jamaica. And yes, my country has agencies, but he was the first one to actually take me under his wings.
Okay.
Which is weird because he don't know me. But he was very friendly. He's very professional. And there are days when I'm like, oh, maybe I don't want to do it. But he's like a pusher. Like, you cannot tell him no. So he's like very supportive. And I've traveled a lot. And even on my travels, because I was out of Jamaica for a while, he is still sure to email me, text me, even call me sometimes and tell me he's disappointed when I don't answer the message right away.
Fantastic. So did I hear clearly that you are doing a business now?
No, I'm not doing a business now, but I take vacations out of the country every now and then because I used to work on the cruise ship also. So families all over want to see me.
I see. Okay, we're getting some challenges with audio again. Tell us something about your experience working in the tourism and hospitality.
Well, I, for one, love the tourism industry. It's more money for one, and I love the guests. I'm
No, it's not. No, the audio is going again. The audio is gone again.
Okay, I think maybe by next time then.
Okay, we're not having any success today at all. I'm sorry about that. Okay, Lemoy, we're gonna have to shut it down. I'm sorry, and get you back in at a later stage. I'm so sorry about this, but unfortunately, we cannot hear you clearly. Okay, that was another disaster with audio again. We've got to get that sorted because I would love to hear her journey, her story, and and get some more dimension, not just people from Grenada, but I want to bring Jamaica into the house. Okay. All right. Well, we're almost out of time, Theophilus. Time flies. It's almost an hour. Can you believe that? Time flies when you're having fun. Okay. Well, I should take this opportunity to thank you again for coming on the very first episode of ITJ Live. It's been very interesting, very educational. Who are in the recruitment agency sector, and like I said before, I'm not the expert at the recruitment industry, but I'm going to become the expert rather quickly. I can assure you of that, having launched this project. Are there any comments you would like to make in closing, Theophilus?
I
we've
just
lost
want to say,
video. Yeah.
as well as I'm getting a bad feedback on your end too, Charles.
Oh, okay. I don't know what is going on today. Okay, well, I can hear you clearly. So just give us some comments before we bring the show to a close. What are your closing comments?
Yeah. So first of all, I'd like to say thank you very much to having me here for the opening and the first segment of your life, and it was a pleasure. And remember, my doors are always open. Just knock in case you have any questions. Let's have a
Yes.
discussion. And I'd like to advise the general public, regional and international, just do what you know it's right, apply,
Yeah.
right, see where it takes you. The journey is not there alone. Just reach out to international partners for assistance like myself, and I sure it have additional companies on ITJ that you could apply to if it's not only cruise ship you'd like to go on, as well as the hotel industry. I'm sure there is something out there for you on the platform.
Yeah.
Just go on ITG and apply. You never know where the
Yes.
journey goes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Well, we're out of time, so we're going to have to bring this first episode to a close. Thank you very much. Thanks to Floyd. Thanks to the other job seekers who came on to the program, and look forward to the very next episode. So, Theophilus, I want to wish you a pleasant day, and we will definitely be in touch. Okay. Thanks again.
Charles. Thanks for having me again.
Bye for now.
Have a great week. Bye.
Unfortunately, we have come to the end of this episode of ITJ Live. If you are looking for a job and would like to be a guest on our show to highlight your job seeker profile, simply get in touch with us to schedule your appearance. This will boost your exposure to employers and recruitment agencies and enhance your chances of getting employed. Employers and recruitment agencies are also invited to be guests on ITJ Live to share details of their job listings to prospective candidates. I would like to thank our guests for joining us in the studio, our production team, and our viewers for tuning in and giving us an audience. Until next time, we wish you all success in your recruitment search. Bye for now.